Hey, Gator Nation. Welcome back to the Respect Our Decision podcast. This is our raw reaction for the Gators' loss to Vanderbilt yesterday in Nashville. This your boy Hirsch. And with me, as always, is Mike.
What's going on?
And the not-so-hype man, Wes.
Oh, I'm going to be hype. What's up?
As always, Gator Nation, make sure you download us wherever you get your podcast from. And go ahead and check out our YouTube channel and subscribe to the channel. Like every video. Leave us some comments. Share your thoughts on this game if you'd like to. We'll read them and we'll comment back to you. And as always, guys, if you like to support us as creators, check out our Patreon at Respect Our Decision. Everything we make from our Patreon, we put back into the show. And as always, guys, be sure to check out our sponsor, Camwood Supplements, at camwoodsupplements.com. Use code RESPECT20 to save 20% off your first purchase. And with that being said, we're going to jump right into it, man. We got some things to get off our chest today. And we're going to jump right into it. Wes, you said you were about to get hype. Why don't you kick it off, man? Get hype for us.
I don't know where to start. I don't know if I want to start with the fans that say AR was the reason we lost when I can name 10 other reasons why we lost. Let me give you a couple. How about the offensive line, no push in the run game? How about the play calling? Why are we carried over from last week against USC in the second half into this week as a pass-first offense? How about Montrell Johnson dropping the touchdown that he could have walked in on the very first drive? How about that? How about the play calling? I said it again. How about the D-line not being able to stop the run? Unable to contain. How about all those things? But y'all want to put everything in AR. I hope AR either transfer or go to the NFL. People forget we had Emory Jones last year. People think that they want AR to be this particular guy with these limited amount of snaps. I can't put this on AR. Did he miss some throws? So does every freaking quarterback in the freaking nation, NFL or college. Everybody missed throws. But we had too many drop freaking passes yesterday in key situations where things could have happened. How about our freaking center snapping the ball over the quarterback's head? And then we get our best runner today. He comes down and hit the pile. I brought up Kingsley 4 weeks ago. I've been on Kingsley. He has to do better. You ain't blocking nobody when you're there in the trenches, but then you're going to hit somebody late, a 15-yard penalty. How about not being able to stop people on third down? That's been a problem all year. And the times we do stop them, we get freaking 15-yard penalties or holding by Bernie. Bernie had a bad game, probably his worst game. I don't want to get on Bernie because he's been good this year. But there's too many other reasons why we lost this game for our fans to be sitting here blaming it on AR. Did he have an okay game? I don't want to put everything on. I'm sick of that screen pass that we do, and I'm sick of them rollouts that we do that he doesn't have the idea because he gets on my nerve with this too. AR, not the play call. I wish we would stop doing the play call, but he needs to stop and plant before making the throw. He runs all the way to the sideline each time, and there's nothing there. I'm sick of that play call. I'm sick of the screen pass play call. I'm sick of the freaking defense not being able to tackle. We had guys in the backfield sometimes with hands on the running back, and we made him look like Barry Sanders. This was pathetic whole team loss. Special teams, offense and defense, all contributed to this loss, and the coaching as well. And Jason Marshall, dude, anytime the ball gets punt inside the 10, you let it go, man. That's punt return 101. I'm out, man. Y'all can have the rest. That's a lot more I can say, but I'm going to save y'all for some meat on the bone.
Freaking A. Goodness. That's a lot of freaking.
Yeah, that's not the word I wanted to use.
I'm aware. All right, Mike. Bring us back down to earth a little bit from the hype man there.
Yeah, whole team played like shit for the most part. It's called spade a freaking spade. Yeah, it's 11. It's played a noon game at Vandy. Any Gator fan in the right mind knew. I mean, that the dangerous game. My point prediction was off to say the least. A bit embarrassed by that, but it's neither here nor there. This is not about me. It was collective, and it was definitely a team effort in how shitty we played. They are play well, yes. Did AR play not play well? They are play a decent game, yeah. It's Vandy, okay? Should play amazing. He's been playing pretty much goes to, once again, how talented you are. You take advantage of inferior talent. That didn't occur. You put up fantasy numbers. Or like a perfect example, or one, he definitely there were drops. Once again, that goes to that, like you said, the opening touchdown. It was multiple. Short out a drop on a perfect ball, but on fourth down, the end of the game, essentially, wide open. People are like, oh, you can't throw that, can't run that play. Why not? It was wide open. I think it was Bowman. Bowman was wide open. Hail Mary. Was that a punt? No, I'm asking. I'm legitimate curious. I got to look at the spread at this point because he may have had points on there. So with that being said, you get all quarterback. Everyone knows a quarterback gets all the too much blame or too little. Moving on from quarterback, the O line played like dog shit. This play calling definitely took multiple steps back. The momentum of the entire team, we were riding high. 6 quarters. I mean, defense didn't play bad, but I mean, didn't play as good as we were playing. We took steps back from the program, team ball based on the past couple of weeks. Penalties and specifically the timing, it just got, oh my goodness. Refs definitely didn't favor us on this. However, end of the day, it is what it is, and you can. We were beating ourselves the whole entire game. I mean, first half, you can get away with this. Once you get past about midway through the third, you're really putting yourself in a position to lose. Now, lastly, special teams. This is why I'm okay with. We've talked about it on the pod. I'm okay with just fair catching and calling it a day. Everyone knows you put your like that. That's honestly possibly one of the worst ones I've ever seen in my lifetime. Not only did he catch, I think it was on like the 5 or the 3, running backwards over his shoulder. I don't think Madden would allow this. You put your feet at the 10. If you go backward, maybe a step, but run forward. And that honestly arguably costs us the ball game. So that's a
where to start? Wes brought it up. I mean, I understand passing a little bit to get the guys out of the box early. We passed the whole damn game. 21 carries, 45 yards in the game. What? Okay, great. Can't contain the edges once again on defense. I mean, we're back to USF in Kentucky, and I mean, it just, to me, it's like we played our last home game and we basically said, all right, well, the season's wrapped. I mean, it's like we just left all the spirit and excitement that we built in last week's win in Gainesville and just said to hell with it, you know. And maybe that's a product of all the people leaving. Maybe that's a lot of it, is that a lot of guys, I mean, you started seeing it this week, letters getting put out that I'm transferring, this guy's transferring, whatnot. Maybe there's, that, hey, we've said it before, you got to cycle out this attitude and this culture that was in this locker room when Billy got here, but that doesn't excuse losing this game at all. Game changers, yeah, they're game changers. They're changing the game for our worse. They're making this damn really hard. I don't know if it's the coaching or what, but it needs to get damn fixed. Like, if you got to bring in a special team coach and lose the coach somewhere else, whatever, or maybe the guy that you got doing the job now just ain't doing it worth a damn. We said it last week. Whatever they coach at South Carolina for special teams, we need to copy the blueprint because we suck at it. I mean, from one aspect to the next, every phase of the damn special teams game, we are not good at, period. I mean, our Aussie punter is pretty decent.
That's it. That's all we got.
I don't attribute that to our coaching. I mean, they coach that down there, and they all have that ability now. It's kind of a widespread thing. I don't know, man. I just feel like the attitude was poor from the get-go. Like, we just didn't have it in us. Like, we were just like, you know what? We're just gonna walk out there. It's Vandy. We're UF. Our jerseys and our logo are gonna beat them, and it don't work that way. Only guy I feel bad for on the whole damn team is Ventrell. Ventrell got ejected for targeting. To me, that was weak targeting. I get the rule, but it looked to me like he hit him more on the shoulder pad. It is what it is. I feel bad for the kid. He's going to miss the first half of next week's game, which means we'll get into that in this week's episode. I'm not even going to cover it. That's all I really got to say. I mean, I know everybody else, they covered the rest of everything. It's a pitiful ass performance from top to bottom, from the head man to the damn last guy off the damn bus, period. All right, guys. We're going to cover our pick six from the week and see where it went wrong. I think we pretty much covered everything that in the pick six, and we didn't do any of it for the most part. 3 things the Gators need to do to beat Vanderbilt. Wes, continue dominating in the trenches. How you think we did, Wes?
We let Vanderbilt whip us in the trenches on both sides of the ball, defensively and offensively. Offensive line, we couldn't get anything going with the run game. I don't know what that was about. And it seemed like when we would get big runs, something would call it back. I think Mike spoke to that about the timing of the penalties. And on defense, we keep losing contain. I mean, they were bouncing outside, was missed tackles. So I count that as getting dominated in the trenches. If you there, I think Princely and Powell gets a sack, then he is a face mask. I mean, I'm like, what? It's like every time we did something right, it was something wrong with it. So we got beat by Vandy in the trenches. So they didn't do what they were supposed to do. The dominance didn't continue, and it was pitiful from both sides of the ball.
And real quick on that foul play, it was a blatant hold. Should have been offsetting penalties. Repeat it down. So that's just one particular play, but you are correct. Contain was lost.
All right. The one thing I think we did do, Mike, completion percentage over 50%. All right. And should have been a lot higher than it was.
Like 3 or 4 drop passes.
4, at least 4 that I can count.
Big time drops.
Now, and a couple overthrows, which we said
they were
overthrows will happen.
They were punts.
And the Hail Mary full of grace. Throw it, give it to a lucky fan in the 6th row. I mean, once again, though, I'm going to say this again, 42 passes. There's no earth where AR should be throwing the ball 42 times in a game. And that brings me to my point for the what we needed to do to beat Vanderbilt. Keep running the ball. Nobody ran the damn ball. Trevor Etienne had 4 carries.
I don't know what's going on there. Last 2 weeks, his carries have been
the best athlete possibly on the offense outside of AR. 4 carries. Okay. Montreal, 11 carries. You had a couple of long games, had one, negated with the personal foul and all that good stuff. But here's something I want to bring up while we're on this, talking about running the ball. Why in AR running the ball? And I'm not just talking about the zone reads. I'm talking about on pass plays. Why is he trying to become a pocket passer?
This is something I thought about last night. I don't know if he his 2 biggest scrambles was Utah and was LSU, and it was going to the left side. I don't know if he knows how to step up in the pocket and go. It baffles me.
He looked like he did last year in limited time, and that's just, and maybe that's maybe that wasn't enough sample size, but last year he looked very willing to step up.
He did it against Utah and he did it against LSU, and I think he did that at the end of the half last week when we got the field goal kick. I don't know what his problem is as far as scrambling. And for the fans that want to get on AR about the zone, me and Mike has discussed this. All those are not zone reads. Some of those are just running back keepers. So we don't know the play call. So we'll never know if he can pull that and go. I don't know unless somebody asks Billy when he's standing in front of the reporters. I would like for one of them to ask, are those keepers or can he pull that and go? Because I want him to do more of that. But the scrambling just baffles me why he doesn't go. like somebody like Jaden Daniels does over there at LSU, or Bryce Young does it from time. Bryce just knows how to buy time. He doesn't have that ability in the pocket.
I wouldn't even say it's the ability. I think he's more of a natural passer than like Jaden Daniels. A natural. It's more of his first. It's more of a detriment. His first first thought is to go. Like I've seen jokes about it, memes about it on all over. But like he's more of a runner. AR is more of a natural. I mean, he's not your natural passer in terms of like completion percentage, so on and so forth. But like mentality wise, you can tell he's like more of like Bryce. I want to get this ball out. I want to go through my progressions. The problem is he took a huge step back, and you can just tell he didn't want like. Yeah, he played. He had some great balls, had some drops, but he's just between body language and like he didn't see any fire, man.
Let me say this, like you're talking about Jaden Daniels. Well, look at Hendon Hooker as another example.
Yeah,
a guy that has put up phenomenal passing yards this year,
but
when it's there, absolutely has no fear to tuck it and get 7, 8.
That's a great point, Hersh. Russell Wilson is the old Russell Wilson was like that. He's a pass first quarterback, but if you leave him a seam, he's going to go.
And that might go to what Mike's saying about him. His mentality is so set in. But that brings me to another point. Is he trying just to impress scouts?
Yep.
If he's trying to put on tape that I'm not just a running back, I can make the throws.
Because you can put on literally just last year's tape and say, oh my goodness, what can I really get out of this kid? You don't even need like this year's tape on running. Like he'll just
and that's my point. Last year he looked much more willing to.
He probably won't even run at the combine, but like let's just say he runs the combine, put up a 4.4, 4.5.
Yeah, he's gonna put up a 4.4. He's gonna put up ridiculous numbers.
That's what I'm saying. That's if he even runs. So if I'm him, I'm probably not gonna run if I'm him. But the point is, it's kind of like, do I even need to? So I don't really see that team aspect from him. That's why I wanted him gone for a while. But it's
I mean, I saw multiple people saying that yesterday, and I can't necessarily disagree because the proof is in the pudding. Like you watch him, and so many people are like, why is Billy not letting AR run more? Well, what if it's not Billy? Yeah. What if it's the guy holding the football says, no, I'd rather sit back here and try to make myself look like I'm capable of making every throw.
Yeah, and I agree with them on the scrambles as we discussed now, but on the replays, we don't know what that particular call is. That could be just it's going to the running back, and that's what he's just carrying out the fake.
Let's not also discount the fact, and I don't want to talk down about the young man, but we're 2 games away now, 1 game away from the season being over and him possibly most likely declaring for the draft. It ain't get hurt season for somebody looking at, I mean, you have to consider it.
And remember what that quote,
the week before, the 240 pounds. Somebody's got to feel it. Nobody had to feel it yesterday.
And that's what sucks about this game. I want to see Kitten in the whole fourth quarter. So just go, balls to the wall, 2-3 quarters. All right, cool. You're done. At that point, a couple runs, open up defense, get your throws, boom, boom, boom. We're out of there.
Yeah, I wanted to bring this up later in the show, but it just kind of naturally developed here. You've got to kind of feel like maybe he's got 1 foot out the door and he's kind of just working on his tape and
body language.
Yeah, it's just something's not right. That's not the AR. Nobody expected to see AR in any game throw for 42 times and only run 4.
And on top of that, I mean, the whole season's like, oh, wait till he's on the road. Well, I can't even use that argument anymore.
But I don't.
You're smiling, Wes, because the whole thing is people have been making excuses. Things that happen outside of his life. Okay, home environment. He's mentally weak. That's all he is. And now he's a bad teammate. These are all facts.
You're saying that I think it's unfair because I think
what's unfair that people. I think it's unfair that people.
Hold on, Let me
Make
finish.
excuses for this man compared to the others.
Let me finish. I think it's unfair to say he's a bad teammate. I saw him go over there and talk to Ventrell. You can't say after Ventrell got kicked out of the game. I don't want to sit here and label this guy as a bad teammate because we don't know the play calls. We don't know what's going on. We alluded to the play calls of why we're not trying to run the ball early and why we pass the ball. You can't put all that on him. And he didn't have a horrible game. It wasn't that we illuminated to the drop pass. The first drive of the game, that's 7 or 6, however you want to call it. Because I Figo kid seems like he's Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde missing extra points. So that's 6. Montreal misses the doggone play where he could walk into the touchdown. So the throws are there. He overthrew. This goes back to play calling. On 4th and 3, why are we running a goal?
It was perfect, no. It was
open.
You're making
but
excuses.
It was open.
That's what I'm saying. People like you, and I'm gonna say it, are making excuses. It was a wide open play. Okay, I'll give the example. I hated the game playing on Kentucky. Okay, it was horrible. However, I can't get mad at the first script if every play is open and can't hit it. Okay, so it was wide open, and you're making an excuse for a play being wide open. How is this occurring?
Hold on. Let me interject on y'all too and bring this up. The other 4th down we went for, and he threw a dime into shorter, was a long streak down the sideline too. Would we have been saying what was that play call if he had not caught that ball?
I concede that. I will concede that, but I don't see the same fervor that y'all blaming AR for missing a throw. Then the touchdown, like even Reynolds, even though we came back and got the touchdown, Reynolds missed a
I completely.
But I don't get that.
We've already said, first of all, we already said this drop, so I can't. I'm not going to go on every single drop. But the quarterback gets all the credit for better or worse.
We've gone from, but you're going from the AR had overthrows, so he's a bad teammate.
I mean, I can elaborate off that. I was waiting for you to talk.
I mean, but so him going over to talk to Ventrell Miller is a bad teammate.
Do you want me to? I mean, I can answer. Wow, I'll say this.
Go ahead.
Yes or no? You think he's giving 100% effort right now?
Yeah.
You think? Okay. Well, I wholeheartedly disagree with that. But Hirsch,
I don't agree. He's giving. I agree. He's giving his effort, but not necessarily
for the team.
But not necessarily in the manners in which his skill set, go towards.
No, I wouldn't say body language, for example. Is that being a good teammate? It's not. You're the leader of the team. You're the most talented player on the field.
Yes, I understand what you're saying. He's
he has his head down.
Not when you're going to go see rah kids up. He's never been that guy to me.
I don't even need him to be, but you can't.
Yeah, no, I understand. And I mean, him going and speaking to Ventrell, well, I mean, I have no doubt they've played together for 3 years now. They're close. I mean, you're going to go. That doesn't necessarily mean you're a good or bad teammate because you
absolutely.
I mean,
he may have a good heart. It seems like he's a good person.
He's a great guy. We know that. It's well said.
And that's why people give him a free freaking pass this whole season.
I seen the kid celebrate after the touchdown to Reynolds. I see him get mad when he misses a throw. He doesn't look like somebody that's not caring, not trying. I don't. And when you, that's a bad thing.
You're giving him a free pass, bro.
We've all been around the game. We've all played.
Yeah.
And we know how it is when you're competing. And when you label somebody a bad teammate, to me, I need more evidence than your opinion than not
body
facts.
Language. Is his body language?
And I saw the body language when he missed throws.
Is his body language for how a quarterback should be? Yes or no?
I saw his.
It's a yes or no question. Is his body language for how a starting quarterback should be, or your standard for the University of Florida? Is it get a Gator standard? Yes or no? That's all I need to hear. I'm not gonna elaborate off your yes or no, but I need a yes or no. Is his body language up to par for the Gator standard?
He's fine to me with his body language.
Okay, that's all.
Everybody's not the same type of guy.
All right, we're gonna agree to disagree on this.
We're gonna yes or no, and
we're gonna agree to disagree on this and move on.
It's just more excuses.
Moving on. 3 things that the Gators needed to avoid versus Vanderbilt. Well, we've nailed every one of these pretty much, except Mike's was we'll let Mike go first. His was letting the quarterback break contain. Quarterback didn't break contain. Did fine there. He did
Yeah,
really
no,
right.
definitely. Our team actually really well. It's gonna help. It should help us down the road as additionally, and we've scrambled quarterback coming up. So I went off the takeoff once again. Jaden Daniels with LSU. So our scheme wise, and our athletes based on especially on our front seven and our safeties, they kind of take care of that. So scheme wise, not worried about it. We continue to do what we do in terms of containing quarterbacks, and this quarterback was a threat to run the ball.
Yeah, he had 8 carries, 13 yards. That's great.
Yeah.
Now the problem was you couldn't contain the running back out of the backfield, which is very odd. That we did such a great job shutting down the quarterback, but couldn't. Every single time that the running back broke outside the tackles, he went for big gains. Wes said we couldn't have turnovers. Well,
And they turned into what?
us.
14 points. The turnovers, the AR. I think they scored on the first play, and then they got the ball in. That's 14 points right there. Not only that you turn the ball over, it's where you turn the ball over at, and how the other team scores off that. So those were horrible turnovers on our side of the field. One was in the end zone, and I think Vanderbilt tight end just ate us up on the second score. So.
Well, then AR threw that interception, which was a fluke interception, but he should not have probably made the throw that he made to give up the interception, which has been his problem with most of his interceptions, has been trying to make something happen when there was no way, when you should have just thrown it out of bounds. But, mine was a slow start in an early game. Well, boy, I nailed the hell out of that one. We had about 3/4 of slow start in an early game. But like Mike said at the beginning, if you're a Florida fan and you've ever watched Florida go to Vandy, it's like peas and carrots, man. They go to, it just happens every single damn time. Early game, Vanderbilt, Florida's like, and look, at some point, a head coach at the University of Florida has got to get the team pumped up to play damn Vanderbilt. I don't know what it is.
Even if it's going a day or so early, I don't know.
I don't know what it is, but somebody's got to take this shit a little more serious.
It happened even when Trask was here. We started off
every
slow.
Quarterback, every team that we've had that since I can remember. Gator Ryan, our buddy Gator Ryan, put out a tweet this morning or yesterday, I think it was, that said he's 35 and he's seen 17 games against Vanderbilt that were like this. And he's right. It's every single time. And that is a game that a University of Florida should go up. You watch Georgia this year beat Vanderbilt like 55-0. We should at least be somewhere in the vicinity of a 42-7. Mike's prediction for this game was 43-3. And that's what it should be. Playing around with these folks. Oh my Lord. Impact players of the game. Wes said Caleb Douglas. I didn't believe we saw Caleb Douglas all day, but that was more of a because they play the true depth chart. They, and the guy
he had a catch.
Did he have a catch? That was
one catch, 10 yards.
Shorter tweaked his ankle, I believe, a little bit, and Caleb was in there for a while. Mike, you said Amani Bernie. Bernie played a pretty good game. Aside from all the outside runs
and that holding call on that third down that we got off.
That 14.
I know. It wasn't even illegal contact.
It was soft.
I would have called illegal contact, but it wasn't even that.
It was within 5 yards, I want to say as well.
That's why I say I wouldn't have called that. That's what you would have called, but it wasn't even that.
My guy was Montrell Johnson, who should have been a lot better than he was, but I digress because we didn't want to run the football. Oh my goodness gracious. Guys, let's we can point the fingers at all the kind of stuff we want to, but I think it all pretty much at the end of the day It's been said by many people. Gator Dave, shout out to Gator Dave. He said it many a times as well. Weird stuff happens in year one. And we've said over and over again, that every game was going to be a coin flip. I don't think we actually thought in our mind that this one was going to be one of them. But
wouldn't call it coin. I wouldn't even call this a coin flip, to be honest. I just think there's a couple of things, factors. I think it's one, multiple players not
living up to their billing.
No, I wasn't going to say that. Don't put me in that. No, I think multiple players are having an eye out for the NFL. At least one. I think.
I'll give a shout out to Big Gerv. Big Gerv played really good early in the game yesterday.
Best game of the season.
And let me say something else real quick before we move on to that. Big Dez has continued to be very, very impressive.
And we were hard on the trenches. I don't want to say it was more of the interior. The
interior played pretty well.
It was more Princely and Powell.
Well, even Powell played. Powell got a face mask that was very questionable.
But they didn't get contained. They were running. They were chasing the whole game. They were chasing on the edge.
Like I said, the outside run contain was very questionable, but the linebackers played a part in that as well.
I'm hearing some Powell slander, and I had some ammo in my back pocket. So this is a Powell slander free zone. All right, I actually have a note on this I made. So watch your words, folks. Powell, he had a QB tackle on a 3rd and 8. There's a reason they had to punt the ball because of my boy Antoine Powell. So
that's a reason he also got a face mask and cost us a drive.
Allegedly.
No, the flag actually counted. It isn't alleged.
Alleged face mask, which he was held as well. But
I agree with the whole call, but I'm saying that the contain was more the lose. You brought up one quarterback.
You brought up Dawson Contain.
He lost contain numerous times, man.
I'm gonna back Wes up. His boy Chris Mack had half a sack.
Yeah, it was the interior guys were good.
My original point, if Desmond Watson continues his trajectory and really works this offseason, he has a real chance to be a special part of the defense next year. I really like how the kid has come on.
We'll see how dedicated he is to sports.
Exactly, and that leads to what I was saying is if he continues his trajectory and working hard, sheds 40, 50 pounds at minimum. He's got to get some off.
Listen, I'll take 30. 40 to 50.
Hey, and if he comes into camp 30 pounds lighter, if he comes into camp 30 pounds lighter, everyone will say he's taking it serious.
Yeah, even 20 is just end of the day, certain body
it's going to be a hard walk for the kid without a shadow of a doubt.
We knew the talent was there. It was just about him taking
he's a big, strong guy, dude. He is an angry, strong man.
And athletic. And he's
very much so. Kamari Wilson was all over the place, dropped an INT that probably would have changed the whole momentum of the game. Kind of overshot his mark a little bit, and the ball got behind him. But that kid, we got a good future with that kid as well. Yes, Wes.
Speaking of Kamari, when Torrance went out, I saw a lot of something I was worried about. I saw him directing traffic with Dean a lot, like, "Hey, you supposed to be over here." And I look for things like that as far as the intangible part of the game. Him saying, "Dean, you supposed to be over here, and I'm over here," or "You covering this guy," lets me know he knows and sees where he's supposed to be and what the offense is doing. So that's a big step up because I was worried about that early.
That also says something else about the other guy you're talking about.
I got you. I was happy to see him communicating and directing traffic and lining guys up. So I was happy for that.
That also, I think that's a great point. I think it goes to not rushing. And Hurst said this: you don't rush youngsters because he may not have been able to do that. And
4 weeks ago.
Yeah. Correct. So they're playing when they need to play. So don't act like you know more than the coaches because most of us, if not all of us, don't. All right. So a lot of us, myself included, sometimes we can shut up.
Pass defense was really good. Like I have no qualms at all with the pass defense. I mean, we got the interception late. Marshall got that on a play that they really shouldn't even been throwing in.
What an awful play call.
I mean, yeah. I mean, you talk
play on
about
a 50-50 ball too. Playing what was he playing? Man.
yeah, oh yeah, a lot of more man coverage, which you should against Vandy. They shouldn't out athlete us for sure. Secondary looked great as a whole. I mean, you only had 10 complete passes, but that goes back to not being able to stop the run game. And then, of course, our boy Perkins got his damn ankles broke out on the early.
That was a hell of a route. I can't be. That was just.
It's also bad body positioning.
Yes, you got to keep that guy in front of you when he has.
He was chasing the whole time.
You're in the side the 7-8 yard line, and you let a guy break behind
as a DB, and he's going out like that. I don't know, because I'm playing DB, and you're trying to beat him to keep him from getting out to get in the end zone. And
but you got to play an angle there.
Like the guy shifted. That guy made that break he made when he passed it.
It was filthy. It was filthy. I just feel like Perkins got a little deep on him.
Yeah.
And gave up the position where he could make such a move.
It was a good route. I think it was a great route. Better. It could have been defended better. That's all.
I don't want to sit here and beat down everybody, because there's a lot of guys that did their part.
Correct.
And did it well. Let's shift from the players for 1 second and go back to the coaching.
It's awful.
And that's where I want to get to.
I think defense did well.
I think the defense did well, aside from the outside contained problems, which is personnel.
Isn't on coaching. I think Tony had another great game. I think Tony had another great game. You take away, 31 points? I don't want to say great. And that had another good game.
But 31 points is a lot of dictated by field position.
You're right, but how many points? 14 occur without those penalties? Honestly.
Penalties? Well, that's what I'm giving Tony credit.
No, I'm asking you. No.
Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, but then you get a fumbled in the end zone. That's a touchdown.
Yep.
You've got AR's pick, which gave him position like inside the 30 or something.
Even on that play when they scored on that touchdown, I can't remember. I have to rewatch. Somebody's on the tight end, and they drop off and go somewhere else in another zone where they shouldn't have gone and didn't stay with the tight end. They had it covered initially, and then they just lost their assignment. I don't know. I have to go back and watch. I want to say Dean, but I'm not sure.
What did he give up? 10, 14 points max? Tony had a great game.
Yeah, the defense is – I don't blame the defense.
The defense showed up. I mean, you lost contain. It's inevitable. Unfortunately, especially somewhat younger, especially in the scheme. Okay, Tony did his thing. Special team played dog shit. Billy, I don't know what the hell Billy was doing. This is the worst game since Kentucky. Arguably worse. Because you had a winning formula back-to-back weeks. Run the ball 50 freaking times, and you win.
I said it.
You did.
I said it forever. Run the ball 50 times. That's our strength.
You're coming off a blowout.
How many yards per carry did Montreal have?
2.9.
So, okay. I don't know if the run game was working, and I know you guys. I get you guys' point.
No.
But to a larger degree, even if we do what you guys wanted, what is up with 4 carries from maybe your third best player on offense?
I agree. I agree. But that goes back to running the ball.
Yeah. Why is he only getting 4 carries? To me, I'm dumbfounded.
Because you put yourself behind the 8 ball from Jump Street.
This was early in the game, though. The first couple series. I mean, the game was not out of hand.
This seemed to me like this is a handshake agreement. Hey, I'm going to help you out with the scouts.
I don't know.
It started last week in the second half. After we got up on USC, we stopped running the ball.
There's no reason why they shouldn't have 50 carries.
I mean, you gave up less than 300 total yards to your opponent in their stadium.
Do you think he was trying to, and this is something that I wanted to ask you guys too, now that we're talking about the running, do you think, especially with ETN, do you think he was trying to get Montreal to 1,000, and maybe that's the reason why?
I doubt it.
He had 7 more carries. It was not a huge disparity. He's gonna run the ball.
I mean, but if you look at last week and this week, Etienne is not carrying the ball like he should compared to what Montrez get.
What is should? He's not our primary back. I mean, we ran the ball 50 times, and we're splitting hairs.
I mean, and there may be more to it than we know.
Yeah,
he may be banged up. I mean,
I'm asking because they were alternating every other series, and they stopped. Now it's going Montreal 2 series, Etienne 1.
Well, I mean, that's your primary back.
He's your starter. He's a freshman. You got to keep this one to freshman. So normally season's about done. I know he's a favorite player.
4 carries is bad.
But he's also not. I mean, in Montreal is a much better pass blocker, and obviously that for whatever reason was part of the game plan. He's going to be on the field more. I mean, look, we can guess that all day, but I mean, which guy carried the ball to me isn't even the biggest issue. The problem is they weren't carrying it enough. Period.
I don't care if Montreal to 50 carries himself. I need 50 carries. I don't care who gets the carry. That's the difference.
Like I said, I understand the initial come out and throw. You want to back guys out of the box. I get that. But we didn't even carry the ball till we got down in the red zone. Like we passed every single down.
Offensive line has to be better too. They got no pushes.
But to me, it. At some point, you've got, like I'm saying, you've got the best right guard in college football. You run behind him not that many times. I mean, I don't get the mentality. I don't get the mentality at all. I think you have the better athletes on both sides of the ball, establish dominance. It's a cold weather game, and you come out throwing. I mean, traditionally, in no cold weather situation, do passing teams succeed. Especially a bunch of Florida boys. I mean,
I'd place honestly because you could have saved AR from himself. I put the number one blame on Billy Napier.
Absolutely, you have to. You have to.
You know me. I will give AR the most blame in the world if need be, if it calls for it. But you could have saved AR from himself with play calling, and then you
could have saved the whole game with play calling.
Because you control the clock. You keep them off the field, so on and so forth. But you settle your team. The run game settles your team down. That's the biggest thing as well.
That's our identity. To me,
Correct.
That's what our identity's been all season.
Yeah. And this is the worst, like I said, the worst play calling since Kentucky.
We had a guy tweet at us that we jinxed us talking about injuries last week, and I can't necessarily.
I would like to. I'll take that L. My apologies.
I can't necessarily disagree. We lost.
When I said it,
Torrance.
I was just like, I should have waited.
We lost White Boy Rick. I hope White Boy Rick's okay. I'm guessing he's in the protocol since he got targeted. He got hit on the targeting call, and we didn't see him afterwards. We knew this team was thin. I mean, that was never a question. This team is thin. You can't afford to lose a whole lot of players, but I mean, once again, that didn't determine the outcome of this game. Injuries didn't determine the outcome of this game. You had not Douglas, but Reynolds getting 150 plus yards and 2 touchdowns. I mean,
8 receptions, 165 yards, and 2 touchdowns, and an awful drop.
And to his credit, he only had the 1 drop. I think the announcer was saying it during the game. He was like 8 for 8 until he dropped that 1, but then he came back and made the touchdown. So he was like 9 for 10 or something like that.
The only the biggest problem with that drop is it took 10 seconds off the clock late in the game.
Awful drop.
I know Mike wants to talk about, and before, because it was on my mind. I know Mike talked about the Hail Mary throw. What was the play before that? What was that?
The out route where he Shorter had to fall down to catch the ball.
Yeah, first off, I didn't think it was a first down. And
it was a bad throw. And B, Shorter should know to drop that ball.
Exactly. He should have even caught it. You don't catch that.
Away.
Or you don't catch
the route was open.
Yeah. or you just don't catch it. You be like, okay, I'm not going to catch this because that's going to eat up time. And you let
Then why you throw that ball?
Well, Mike, but me and Mike were on the phone when it happened. Me and Mike were on the phone when it happened, and I said we got time for 2 plays. We need to throw an out route and then the Hail Mary. Mm-hmm. And they threw the out route, but he didn't get it out.
It wasn't out. It was he threw a route.
He threw it 3 yards short of the sideline and not where he could run out of bounds.
You can't
but
catch
yeah,
it
that's
either.
Shorter's got to know to drop that ball there. I know you're the competitor and you says catch the ball.
You're a senior, Mike. You're a senior.
You stole the ball away. Football. If you don't want your receiver, and I'll talk to more like quarterbacks and receivers on this. But my opinion is, if you're a quarterback receiver, I'm the quarterback. If I want the ball caught, I'm gonna throw it to the guy. If I don't want the ball caught, I'll throw the ball away. It's simple.
But he did want the ball caught, and the guy was hoping. You got to make the throw.
Yeah,
that's what I'm saying.
You're saying both are bad.
Don't throw, if you're like drop the ball. Well, like, what if he was like, all right, no, I have time to turn it up. I have time to get outside. That's his thought process.
His thought process should have been plant my foot, make an out route throw, which is
I'm talking for Shorter. I'm talking about Shorter.
I'm not. Well, yeah, but I'm talking about his quarterback.
I don't talk.
I understand that.
I get bashed for being a hater all the time because apparently, I have eyeballs. So
I thought you relished that role.
That's neither here nor there.
All right, let's just wrap it up because God knows we could go on about all the things that went wrong on this game for probably the rest of the day, and it ain't gonna do any good. We got 1 game left. It don't look good right now. You're going to have and that's another thing I didn't really bring up. I got a feeling that we really kind of were looking past Vanderbilt to this game, especially on a short week. Playing Florida State on a Friday night of Thanksgiving week. I got a feeling that we probably did look a little past Vandy. And we don't have the luxury of doing that right now. We're not that good of a football team. So, some things are really going to have to break our way, but we're going to cover that in the next episode. We're going to try to get that one out a little early, I believe, so everyone can enjoy their Thanksgiving and not listen to us. Plus, we got, like I said, the game. We got a short week, so that means a short week for all of us. With the game being on Friday night. Guys, anything else y'all want to throw out there before we get out of here?
Yeah. Yeah, I really, once again, really disappointed in most of the team and Napier. Billy Napier truly let me down on this one. And Bateman's got us.
Wes?
Need to see some vastly improvement. Things need to vastly improve this week, like coaching wise.
I need to see my seniors, especially this is going to be their last game versus Florida State, come out with a little bit of fire this week. And like I said, we'll talk about that more on the weekly episode. But you got to use it as a learning experience and come out and look in the microphone, look in the camera and say, it starts with me. I didn't put us in position to win this football game. And, because as we know, if you've ever listened to this show, if you're not getting better, Mike.
You're getting worse.
And this week we got worse. So
exponentially.
Time to get freaking better, in the words of my man Wes. Guys, hang in there. Remember, it's year 1. Growing pains are going to happen. I know everybody's thought process is losing to Vandy is inexcusable. And I can't disagree with you. And I'm not making excuses for anybody. But as we said, weird shit happens in year 1. It'd be real easy to say, well, Kirby lost to Vandy in year 1. We ain't trying to be Kirby. We're trying to be better than Kirby.
Hey, luckily I did say he was a good coach.
Yeah. So, guys, just hang in there. We got 1 more week to go and a bowl game. We got our 15 extra practices. I know to some people that's not enough, but you got to take it, for what it is right now, and we can't change it.
Thank God we got him already.
Yep. We can't change it. We just got to deal with it and pray we get the recruits in here that we need to make us a better team going next year. So that being said, guys, we appreciate y'all for hanging with us. We know it's been an up and down season. One more week to go, one more raw reaction to give to you, and then that'll be it for the raw reactions. But until then, we love y'all. We appreciate y'all. Make sure y'all listen and go download us wherever you get your podcast from. Check out the YouTube channel and subscribe. Like the video and leave a comment, even if it's a hateful comment about the team. We'll read it anyway. I know everybody's frustrated. And then once again, guys, make sure you check us out on Patreon if you would like to support us as creators. And we do put each and every dollar we make back into this program to try to make it better for you guys. We love y'all. Hang in there, guys. Go Gators.
Go Gators.
Go Gators.